you ain't watched them, go watch them, come back. Oh boy, yay. I forgot how absolutely fun it was. Listen. I really had forgot about the joy that I get from dragging the hemotionals. You love the nails? Thank you. So this male, this emotional, decided to come out and say what he felt like he needed to say about Miss Megan. And he said that Tori should have just her in the head and earned the jail sentence that he got. Well, you know what? What is your ethnicity? I'm so confused. I'm black. Today, tomorrow, twice on Sunday. But to be more specific, I am Geechee and I am also Creole. So anyway, he decided to do that in his FedEx uniform. That was completely sick of him to do. No, I don't mind being called auntie. Listen, I'm so glad that these males get on the internet and tell us how they really feel. Listen, say the quiet part out loud. Get it all off your chest. Y'all think that these males are new. These males are not new. The only thing that is new is that they now have the opportunity to have microphones and let the world see what they have always been thinking and feeling. This shit is not new. I don't know why y'all think that. They've been thinking this. They've been treating women like this. They've been thinking like this. They've been doing all of these things. They've been living out this shit. It just was never talked about. Women suffered in silence. There was no internet. There was no place for men to collectively come and tell women how much they dislike them and all of the depraved things that they think about us. But now there is. And I love that for all of us. I love that because now none of us can deny that we know who the hell they are and what they think. And so now we have to act accordingly. And I just love that. There was a sister that came in my comments. She said, something about like silently block them. Why are you being rage-based? Sis. We are blocking them out loud. Very loud. Very not demure. Very not mindful. Very intentional. You understand the assignment. Okay, go watch my last two videos. Yeah, Elisha, I would expect that we all should be contacting FedEx, right? We should all be tagging them in that video. And we all should be contacting FedEx corporate, asking them if this is the type of men that they employ to come and drop packages off at women's houses, because we don't feel safe. You want to be a doll? Okay, you want to be a doll? Subscribe to me here. Go to my Patreon, pick a tier, subscribe there, and join my mailing list, and you will officially be a doll. You'll get all of my updates, all of my codes, all of my discount codes for anything that I'm doing. If I'm doing classes, if I'm doing whatever I'm doing, you will get first dibs. You will get to all of the things. When I do subscriber only lives on here, you will get access to that. When I do giveaways, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway today, y'all. Period. Because I have a couple of things in the works. First thing I'm going to be giving away, he put the page on private, but it don't matter because, baby, I know you in real life. And what did I do? I knew he was going to do that. So I downloaded the video in its entirety. And then I just reposted it. Baby, you can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you cannot hide. I reposted the video in its entirety and I have it in my phone to send to FedEx. So, I have two things that I'm going to give away. I'm going to give away a ticket to my upcoming part 3 of my Working the Water class, Sex Magic. Okay? Yes. Y'all asked me to do a Sex Magic class. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to give away a ticket today. So we're going to do that in a minute. The other thing I'm going to give away is a ticket to my in-person water conference that I am doing with Camille Jackson Jones. The first one is going to be here in Atlanta. This event is going to be amazing. If you've ever seen me and Camille do lives together, baby, you would want to be at this conference. If you win the ticket and you cannot be here in person, you will be able to see it streaming, okay? So I'm going to give away 1 ticket to my class and 1 ticket to the conference. But that's going to be a little later. And in order to win the conference to my tickets, you have to be subscribed to me here on TikTok. Anyway, listen. To the hemotional, can y'all please go and watch that video, like, share, comment, tag him, tag FedEx. Because I am done with this thing where these people get to come on the internet and tell other men to unalive black women. Because what? Candy, I want all the tickets. Well, you can always get the tickets. Now, the tickets to the conference you can't buy yet, but you can go and buy a ticket to my class that's coming up. Yes. I am, for a man to get on this internet, a black man to get on this internet, you know how comfortable you have to be to get on the internet? In your work uniform. And say, if you get less time for unaliving, if that was the case, he just should have aimed for her dome and in a bonnet, diabolical. Do you know how comfortable you have to be in your depravity to get on here and do that shit? I need us to do this. Every time they blink wrong, we make sure that they feel it. Yeah, I'm a doll now. I love that. You'll be getting some emails from me. Every time they blink wrong, we need to make them feel it in their real life. You want to come on the internet and say some crazy shit about black women? Don't worry, because when we pull our support away from you, you gonna feel it. When the water dries up, you gonna see how your life dries up. When water becomes your enemy, you're going to see what happens to your life. Like I told you, I'm in contact with somebody that knows him for real in real life. And she already told me that your life is lifing. She already told me. And we gonna make sure that it goes and lifes some more. Yeah, and don't come back on no apology tour, baby. No. I'm serious, ladies. Don't argue with them. You see, when I did my video, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm laughing at you and showing you the consequences of your actions. Ain't nothing to talk about. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not begging you to see our humanity. I'm not correcting you. I don't care. Once you've said what you had to say, I believe you, and you are now a threat. And black women, do you know how much moving power we have? Things that we don't support dry up. Y'all remember that movie? What was that movie that came out? Fred Hampton. What was that movie that came out where that brother was playing the enslaved man that headed up all of the slave revolts? What the hell was that movie? I keep wanting to say Frederick Douglass, but that wasn't it. What was it, y'all? Y'all remember? And right before the movie came out, Nat Turner, thank you. And right before it came out that that man had did something to black women. I don't even remember. Whatever he did. And y'all remember how we got that movie boycotted? And remember that movie ain't make nair money, nair dollar? Y'all remember that? Remember when we said, you said what? Say who? You said what? Say less. And the movie flopped. And you remember he came on the internet crying and whining, talking about how the movie didn't do this and how we didn't support it. Ladies, I need you to understand. Yes, Birth of a Nation. There you go. I need y'all to understand your power. Your power. Where black women focus go, it shall grow. Where we remove our energy, where we decide this thing is not going to survive, it does not. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you. I don't know you. Hey. So ladies, if they blink wrong, I want you to show them the consequences of their actions. If you get on the internet, and he made this video a little minute ago. I believe it was in 2023. You love my glasses? Thank you. Shout out to Bean for buying them for me. She hooked me up with several different ones. I want you to remember the power that you have. Do not argue with these fools. Do not get on the internets and on these lives and start going back and forth with them and begging them to see your humanity and telling them why they're wrong and why they should protect you and why they shouldn't do this and why they should do no. Don't do none of that. Just make sure that he feels the consequences of his actions. Stand on business. You so big, bad, and bold that you're willing to get on the internet in your goddamn work uniform and tell black men that they should black women. Tatiana, I'm not going to say that we should remove our energy. I am saying we should use our energy for different outcomes. We should not be using our energy to convince them otherwise. We should not be using our energy to educate them. We should not be using our energy to advocate for them. We should not be using our energy to convince them or teach them. We should use our energy to destroy them. We should use our energy to make sure that they feel the consequences of their actions. This man literally sat there and talked about finishing a black woman. Okay, cool. Say less. You want to finish us? Cool, we gonna finish you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing. So, I told y'all I'm actually in contact with people with him in his real life. Because, you know, you can't just get on the internet and say any goddamn thing you want. That was a journal entry. That was an entry that you should have told your therapist. You should have worked through why you have such anger. And he also said, Tori didn't shoot that horse. So now you have deduced her down to an animal that can be put down, and literally sat there and talked about her in said context and energy. Say less. Women, I need y'all to really, really get in your dark femme era. I need you to get in your dark femme era. I need you to know how and learn how to go from a raging inferno to a blue flame. I need you to learn how to harness those emotions and have control over them. Wait, somebody's talking down on Megan. Go watch my last two videos. Go watch my last two videos. Thank you, Nowhere. Thank you. We will choose the business dark femme energy all day, every day. I don't have no vested interest teaching them, coddling, help them, negotiating with them, merging with them, finding. I don't care. I'm late to the live. Well, yeah, go and watch my last two videos and come back. I don't care about, I don't want to be cool with you. You feel me? I don't need you to see my humanity. I don't need for you to get it. I need you to tell me the truth so I know exactly who you are and I can deal with you accordingly. And that's what this man did. And that's what many of them have done. And they will exploit our innate nature to be nurturing, or the nature that has been brought to the forefront, which is why I keep telling you, step into your dark femme era. This is not love and light, ladies. This ain't the time for that. This is take your power back by any means necessary. This is more Malcolm, less Martin. This is the homie. This is, how can I explain this? This is the raging waters. This is move out of my way or I'm gonna move you out my way. You get? Stop playing the radios with these men. I swear to God, if I see any of y'all on the live arguing with these men about this take and about Tory Lanez, I'm literally going to come to your door and spank you. We gonna fight. Do not. I don't want to see none of y'all on panels having these think pieces with men, allowing them to disrespect you in public and get their abuse kink off by calling you all kind of things about them. Calling you all kind of things in public. Feeding that. I need y'all to really treat them like the pariah that they are. You know, there's one thing that men hate more than anything. Tell me what men hate more than anything in the comment section. What do they hate more than anything? What's the worst thing you could do to them? Yep. Denial of access. Denial of access and being ignored. Sir, you have no relevance. You have no importance. Who are you? An independent woman. I would say even more than an independent woman, I think that they despise women who have resources and choices and intelligence. Baby, you got them three things. You are like kryptonite to these men. Then they will tell you that you aren't worthy of a man. Block their ass. Depends. There was a girl who came in my section and was like, oh, why are you being rage baited? You should just block. No. Yeah, that's not really my job. I'm not emotionally hurt or swayed, but I am a blue flame. So when you do things, it is only my job to bring the consequences of your actions to your front door. It's not my job to ignore you. Women have been silent for far too long. Women have been ignoring for far too long. No. Shout it at the rooftops. Tell it every time. Call it out every time. But never have an investment in them changing. Never do it in the hopes that they're going to somehow be different. In the words of the great Assata Shakur, nobody in history has ever gained them freedom by appealing to the moral compass of their oppressor. Baby, they don't care. You think these men don't get what they're doing? They don't care. They do it on purpose. They're not unaware. They're not uneducated. They're not stupid. And by stupid, I only mean that they don't get it. They do get it. They do. So my point is, don't spend any of your energy thinking that you can educate them. Can y'all also, ladies, can y'all also acknowledge some biology that's happening? The Y chromosome at its inception, at its creation, was and is and always will be a degenerated mutation of the X. So it started off on the wrong foot. Okay? It started off with a broken leg and a bad case of the sugar and a rotten pinky toe. Started off that way. And it has literally deteriorated rapidly over time. It went from having over 1,000 strands of DNA on it, now down to double digits, less than 100 strands of DNA. Are you going to sit up here and tell me that you think that that lack of DNA and the collapse of the very DNA and chromosome structure that makes them what they are does not affect their behavior and their beingness? In any kind of science, that would never make any sense. And think about it as a recipe. If you have bakers, where you at? Because this is gonna make super sense to y'all. If you have a recipe, I'm gonna show y'all my bakers, and then I'm gonna go for my other side of the brain people. Hold your mule. If you have a recipe, okay, and it calls for certain amounts of each thing, and you decide you are going to leave out copious amounts of this thing and that thing and this thing, what happens to your recipe? What happens? That thing definitely ain't gonna hit the same. It's liable to be nasty. The quality would change, the taste would change, the texture would change. It might not even be edible. For all my coders, for all my computer programmers, if you have a code and you change one single dynamic of that code, of that binary code, does not the entire program change? Do we now have a completely different system? So ladies, tell me, what do you think has happened when the very chromosome and the DNA on the strands of the chromosomes have degenerated from over 1,000 strands of DNA now to double digits? Y'all think that that's not going to have an ultimate effect? Come on now. Ladies, I need y'all to really learn some facts that will help this make logical sense to you. I'm so thankful I'm a mother of a daughter. I feel blessed. Same. It's giving watered down. It is. It is. It is. And the only men that survive this are ones that can reconnect back to the divine feminine. And I am not talking about your sexual preference, any of that. I am not talking about that. I am talking about men that actually understand the divine feminine, respect it, and understand how to have connection and move closer to it instead of further away from it into the fixed energy of what is called the masculine. Yeah. So, there is no being quiet. Nikola Tesla, and I know I've said this so many times, I just, at this point I suck as a content creator. I need to get my shit together. Nikola Tesla wrote an article many years ago. Should I read it to y'all? Y'all want me to read it to you, where he predicted that this day would come? I've been pushed out of my own community because I advocate for the divine feminine. Well, you know what? Thank goodness, girl, because clearly it's not where you needed to be. All right, let me pull it up. And I'm gonna read it to y'all because this was literally predicted by Nikola Tesla many, many moons ago. Hold on. All right. It was called When Woman is Boss. And it was written... Hold on a second. Let me go back for a second. Let me go back. In 1926. It was written in 1926. Okay, I'm trying not to read all of this. Let me just read from here. Y'all ready? All right, let's do it. In January of 1926, a reporter named John B. Kennedy interviewed Tesla about these very ideas. Do I need to go back? Hold on. Yeah, I do. Shit, I'm gonna have to read all of this. Engineer, physicist, and futurist Nikola Tesla, the most radical rule breakers of science, and is regarded by many as the greatest inventor in human history. His groundbreaking work paved the way for wireless communication and imprinted every electrical device we use today. Without Tesla, I wouldn't be writing these words on this keyboard and you wouldn't be reading them on this screen. But like all true geniuses, Tesla envisioned not only the practical applications of his inventions, but the profound cultural shifts that any successful technology perpetuates. One of the most surprising, most obscure, yet most incisive of Tesla's predictions peers into the future of society's changing gender roles and considers how the advent of wireless technology would empower women, liberating us to develop our full intellectual potential repressed by the patriarchy for centuries. I need y'all to understand what is being talked about. Please, this son, okay? In January of 1926, a reporter named John B. Kennedy interviewed Tesla about these very ideas. The piece was published in Collier's magazine under the title When Woman is Boss and discussed in Margaret Cheney's excellent Tesla, Man of the Time, which remains the most insightful and dimensional perspective on the great inventor's mind and spirit. And the reflecting on the future uses of wireless technology and practical predicting iPhone, Tesla points out to the empowerment of women as one of the most significant effects of technology on the world tomorrow. All right, y'all ready? Quote, "It is clear to any trained observer, even to the sociological untrained, that a new attitude towards sex discrimination has come over the world through the centuries, receiving an abrupt stimulus just before and after the World War. This struggle of the human female towards sex equality will end in a new sex order, with the female as superior. The modern woman who anticipates in merely superficial phenomena the advancement of her sex is but a surface symptom of something deeper and more potent fermenting in the bosom of the race." The chills, baby. Listen, it is not the shallow physical imitation of men, but that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. Tesla goes on to predict that the acquisition of new fields of endeavor by women and that their gradual usurpation of leadership and is the inevitable result of the previously repressed potential, newly uncorked by the interconnectivity and educational empowerment that wireless technology would make possible. Quote, through countless generations from the beginning, the social subservience of women resulted naturally in the partial atrophy or at least the hereditary suspension of mental qualities, which we now know the female sex to be endowed with no less than men. But the female mind has demonstrated a capacity for all the mental acquirements and achievements of men as the generations ensure that capacity will be expanded. The average woman will be as well educated as the average man and then better educated. For the dormant faculties of her brain will be stimulated. Ooh, listen. I feel like I could catch the Holy Ghost. Y'all don't understand because this is like this is what I live through and feel happening. It is literally the awakening of your brain. Listen, she will as educated as the average man and then better educated, for the dormant faculty of her brain will be stimulated to an activity that will be all the more intense and powerful because of centuries of repose. Women will ignore precedents and startle civilization with their progress. There's a couple things. Let me talk to y'all about this on a spiritual level. One of the things that they worked very hard to do was take away women's voices, to silence them. Be quiet, be demure, don't be too loud, don't tell your business, be all of these things, be respectful, don't talk too much, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Because they knew that women speaking literally would change the face, the energetic dynamic of this planet. What you are experiencing, what Tesla is talking about, is how the internet gave way for women's voices to travel the globe, to travel the world. That we were no longer kept in silent rooms in silence. We started telling our stories. We said, hey girl, this was happening to me too. Wait, he was doing that to you? Wait, y'all experiencing that over there in the Middle East and we over here, we in the same boat in America? Wait a minute. And then that brain starts to activate. Women have always been regarded as spiritually superior than men. They always knew that. It was always understood. We are the womb, we are the portal. This is why they did their best to not only dismantle, but destroy goddess worship. Because we already had them on that. They then switched this to this logical portion and tried to make it seem like women weren't as intelligent as men. Now, I keep telling y'all white supremacy and patriarchy are flip sides of the same psychosis. They operate on the same way. Well, don't the people say that they're more intelligent than us, that they have bigger brains than us, and so on and so forth? It's the same thing that men have tried to tell women, when in fact, our brains, and we have our brains have the capacity to process almost twice as many words in a day that they do. And we are much better at multitasking. We also think in big picture. So many other things I could go on. But they convinced us through patriarchy that we needed leaders, that we did not have the capacity, that they were smarter than us, that they were stronger than us, that they were more logical than us, none of which is true, and none of which is shown and proved by any evidence. None of that is true. Just recently, a group of young boys and a group of young girls were put into a house by themselves. What happened? The girls thrived. They got together. They made menus, chore lists. They did wonderfully. The boys fell into chaos, started beating the life out of each other. Period. Okay? Say that to say this. What is now happening is not just women becoming aware, but that awareness is waking up and activating different parts of their brain and the water in your body. This is why I'm always talking to y'all about programming, tapping in, understanding the water. Water is a feminine energy. Everyone who comes here comes through a portal of water. Every single one of us. Understanding what that is. What is the spinal fluid? What surrounds the brain? What carries the brain waves and the messages to and fro? The water. So, what you are seeing now with what is happening with women has long been predicted, has long been known. The response that you are seeing from men, what these podcasts and all this other shit represents, is what we call an extinction burst. Let me read you the definition of an extinction burst. An extinction burst is a temporary increase in the intensity, duration, or frequency of unwanted behavior that occurs when reinforcement is removed. It is part of the extinction process, which is used to reduce or stop behaviors that have been rewarded in the past. So men, there has been a shift. They are no longer being rewarded and supported in their behavior as they have been before. And so all of this violence, all of these podcasts, all of this moving the goalposts, all of this demeaning of your accomplishments and your educations and saying you're not worthy and you've hit the wall and you're this, all of that is the extinction burst, because they are literally trying to beat you into submission again. They're just doing it mentally. So it's like their last push before they disappear. Essentially, the patriarchy, that ideology is dead. It is done. It is decaying. It is over. The more you attach to that, the more you are asking for your own demise. Okay? It is, as a woman, it is, I know all of this shit is going on, even the abortion bans, the governments, all of the things that is happening. It is all, they can try good luck with that. It's not going to happen because there's so much behind what is going on. It's bigger than just their feelings. It's bigger than, this has to do with the planets, the planet. This has to do with the spirits. This has to do with the collective consciousness of women. This has to do with evolution. This has to do with all of these things that they don't have any control. So many pygmies are equating fame and fortune with morality. Expand on that. Listen, I don't care about pygmies. I don't care about pygmies even less than I care about hemotionals, because to me they're more dangerous. Baby, if you align with the patriarchy, go over there and be with them. Go over there and be with them, and you no longer fall under the tutelage and the protection of divine women. Go over there and be with them. That's all. That's all you gotta do. I don't understand pygmishas. I don't understand how you play against yourself. I just don't. And I don't want to. I don't want to negotiate with you, since I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. If you center a man, that's your end all be all. You love, that's my man, my man, my man. All of the things. Baby, the problem is they don't want y'all. That be the real issue. Y'all be on here yapping, talking, begging, crying, bowing down, and be single and alone and mad and all of the things, kicking and screaming, or you got a man that's treating you like his maid while he trying to get in my inbox. I promise you the goodness. Because what men do is they will go and marry those women because it's a safety net, and they will spend all their time, energy, effort, and money trying to get access to the women that they tell you not to be like. And that's why whenever you think you better, says he will soon show you that you ain't. Because what are the strip clubs full of? You think the strip clubs are full of single men? They're not. They're full of married men. You know who are the biggest Johns? The biggest tricks? Married men, baby. You know who pay like they weigh? A married man with some money and something to lose that don't want you to tell his wife. You know who is willing to risk it all for a good time? A married man. It can equate everything back to patriarchy. Women, stop letting these men think that any of these titles make you better than anyone.